What is going on, everybody? Bobby Fi and Eric Sheetshaber. We're going to be talking through today's 5-game NBA slate. In my entire lifetime, I have
Uh-oh.
never seen an 11 p.m. start time for a basketball game. I don't think it's ever happened. And Sheets, I think I might have won the hey, they're trying to avoid some part of the games at least argument because that's the only explanation I can come up with. I've never seen it happen. There's no logic behind it. There's nothing even leading into it, and I can't figure it out. And also in that game, other thing I can't figure out, somebody must be sitting that is not even on the injury report, because how the Clippers are favored in Golden State is just shocking. I have no idea what's happening with that one. So I'm trying that's going to be, I wouldn't be surprised if we got some news in, because the Clippers being a 1.5 point favorite in Golden State is just so strange. I just don't understand how it would happen this time of the season. I also did want to say, what a game last night. Unbelievable. I was up, what was that, 7 hours almost? Wild and craziness all over the place. And then the air getting cold. Now it's 1,000,000 degrees. A lot of those balls that were hit to the warning track in extra innings would have been home runs by a mile tonight. A lot of fun for the Dodgers. And it was nice to win the perfect game too. I chopped that with the Freddie late heroics. I was in third place, and Freddie put me into first. So
What did that cost for? 3?
58.
50. Oh, nice.
Yeah, not bad. One entry,
Very nice.
Yeah, so I was happy with it, and and then I guess let's looking at the slate. I have the same stuff as usual. I'll get your takes and everything, but I just gonna point out that Giannis woefully underprojected again. Goldie's got it a little bit more on it, and other sites out there have it a little bit higher, which they should. Shea Gilgeous still a little lower. We knew Maxi's was low yesterday. I don't know where he ended up ownership wise, but I'm hoping anybody played him, because
I played him, and I was like the only one.
Yeah, that's so weird to me, and it's just with all these guys out, and by the way, and Edgecombe too also had a nice night. So
He did,
and then they have the back-to-back tonight in and I just think Maxi with these guys out has got to be, in general, you've got to be looking at him like he's a 50-point average. You do have Embiid, but you've only got 20 minutes. I just think with the way this team is constructed, I just think Maxi is an awesome play. So I guess I'll leave it at that. And I think Kelly Oubre is an awesome play. But what do you have? What are you getting to? And talk a little bit about what you're seeing.
So it seems though the top values are coming from the Miami game. The top. No, I have no one projected at point per dollar play more than 6, but I have a bunch in the 5s. And that would be Jaime. I'm going to do it. Maybe this year I'll get it right. Jaime Jaquez.
Yeah.
And Bam and Jovic. I have those 3, and then a little worse, I guess, is Cattell Ware. Also, value showing up looks like Colin Sexton from Charlotte, and then like you said, Edgecombe just straight back. He's a young man. You don't care about the back-to-back, right?
No, he's gonna fly up and down that court anyway, and it's the Wizards, so that helps too.
And then you have a couple of guys we've heard of who are just kind of underpriced a little bit. That would be Kawhi Leonard at 7,600. You mentioned the Clippers in Denver. In Golden State tonight, and then not to mention James Harden is not bad. And then C.J. McCollum, I have him at 6,300. I didn't even know what team he was on, but he's on Washington, and he looks pretty decent. Then the last guy I'll just mention before we get to the spend ups, obviously these are just the value guys, would be Aaron Wiggins. I have him at 4,800. Do you have any desire to put any of the guys I just mentioned, and in what order, and what the degree of confidence? Or
I think I feel the best about Jaquez in terms of the value. But look, there's bus pass. He's my highest owned player right now. I do think that the builds on DraftKings are going to lead you not so much stars and scrubsy. I'm curious if these projections are going to update a little bit more, because I feel like Oklahoma City is getting there's some ownership there, but so let's take it. We have no Jalen Williams, no Chet Holmgren. We haven't had Jalen Williams already, but you're telling me that all these guys don't look better than this? It feels like there's something more that could happen with that OKC thing. The other guys you mentioned, I'm trying to remember everybody, but I guess in terms of good value, I think Jaquez, Cason Wallace.
I didn't even have him. Okay, Cason Wallace.
Yeah, absolutely Cason Wallace for sure. Well, I mean, again, it's just the Thunder. I think they're the better source. Well, better is a tricky word because like they raised the price a little bit, but like some of these guys are like Aaron Wiggins. Between Aaron Wiggins, Cason Wallace, AJ Mitchell, Alex Caruso, all of those guys are very, very heavily in play for me, and I think maybe a little bit better value than some of this Miami stuff that feels a little bit thinner outside of Jaquez. Jovic is, I think, fine. Norman Powell's still questionable. That could change everything. And Miami guys even better. But I sort of like the idea of getting a little more OKC tonight, personally. And I did do my manual raising of Giannis, and I think Giannis is the clear. If you can get to a spend up, you want to use him. But I'm getting to a ton of Maxey. I'm getting to a lot of LaMelo. I'm getting to a lot of, as you mentioned, Harden. And I'm just convinced that there's something wrong with this late game. I also think when we're talking about 5-game slates and Steph is like going to be like 5% owned, I think we should probably like just give it, try to be above the field on that type of play.
I will say this, by the way, I really hope for the Dodgers and the Blue Jays' sake that game does not end after the 11 p.m. NBA game.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine if I have another big one like that? What do you think, by the way, we'll get back to basketball in a minute, but what do you think's going to be happen with the bullpens and all that stuff tonight?
Yeah, I mean, look, they had plenty of time off. Everybody who pitched outside of the guys who went the long stuff, but nobody wants the long stuff guys anyway. It's not like Eric Lauer, they're trying to get into games. So you're not going to see Lauer pitch, I don't think. I don't think you're going to see, obviously, the superhero of last night, Kelly. But I think everybody else is pretty firmly fine. Okay. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't be good to go. Trying to think if there's somebody I'm not thinking of who pitched more innings than I thought. I don't think there is. Like, it's not like the guys who are in the regular rotation were going longer. It's just the game went on forever. And then we ended up using 2 pitchers who never pitched for us anyway. So they pitched 7 innings. So
Springer was questionable, right?
Yeah. I don't even think they've released their lineup yet. At least they haven't.
No, I don't think so.
On here. So, and I think it's a very legit question. I've never seen somebody pull something and immediately go out in a World Series game like that. Like, it wasn't like he even thought about it or had this trainer look for a second. He just was out of there. It's like the second he tweaked, that's probably a bad sign for him, unfortunately. Anyway.
Hey, you know who's had a really nice game last night was your man Mark Williams.
Yeah.
I cashed in like this swish, and I had a couple of sweats and some of the other stuff. I had that Utah Phoenix game all over the place.
Nice.
I mean, Markkanen had like 700 points.
Right. Markkanen was just insane. I mean, look, these guys are putting up, and that's sort of another thing that I just wanted to mention about like why I keep saying these spend ups. And even if you wanted to convince me that Giannis's median is 56, which I think is an absurd statement, like I think anybody knows that's ridiculous. But even if you wanted to, like, it's just never, I don't know. All the top guys, to me, they have such ridiculous ceilings. And what if we had 7 50-point game scorers or something this season so far? It's only been a week. So it's just I think that's just what we're going to see. And also, like, the games are being played faster. The defense seems to be a little bit lighter. The rules have seemed to benefit the guys with the balls in their hand and the guys with the high usage. So I'm going to keep trying to ride that and try to find these correct, these correct value plays.
So in your builds, I mean, if you're getting like all this Giannis and
I have 22% Giannis, even with raising on DraftKings. I have tons of them on FanDuel. I think
I was wondering how you're getting so much Giannis, because I can't find I can't find the salary to get there.
Yeah, that's the thing though, is that's why he's in 22%. I mean,
right.
The Jaquez and the Wallace and the Jovic, and the truth is somebody else is going to be out. We also forgot to mention Cole Anthony, very much in play tonight, at 4,600 as well. Drew Smith is 3,300. That's the other value piece that I probably am using in a decent amount of my Giannis lineups. So those are the Bogdanovich for the Clippers, another one that you can 3,400 take a shot on. Those are the things.
Now, is it which Bogdanovich is it? Bogdan or Bojan?
Bogdan.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, just because there's not that much value, and I'm telling you, there's something weird with this game. I just don't understand this total. It's totally confusing to me. Bogdanovich is also because of no Beal, but especially like, so are they just saying like no Beal? Okay, we think that the Clippers are. I don't know. Just really, I can't get over it. Do not understand why the Clippers are favored in that game. Not to say that they won't win the game. Just that I don't think they should be the favorite.
Let me see. Let me see how much.
4K.
What?
There's a lot of 4K guys out there that I think are just very playable, and Khalil Ware, another one. A lot of them. I actually really like Khalil Ware tonight. It just, he takes up a center spot, but I think he's got a tremendous ceiling against this Hornets team.
I'm wondering how much. I wonder how much somebody on FanDuel.
How much Bam are you? Well, again, you're not going to change the projections. I did.
Right.
So I'm going to end up with, I'm sure, more than you.
I mean, if you don't get Giannis, you don't get that build. You probably get all the Bam build. You know what I mean? Like,
I think the Bam projection is way too high. Like,
it always is, right?
I mean, it just feels like Sabersim especially likes Bam a little bit better than maybe most people. Even when I lowered Bam's projection by 3 points, he's still my highest owned player on FanDuel. Like,
on FanDuel?
Yeah.
I was getting him on DraftKings.
Yeah, and yeah. But it's weird also, like, you take Shea, they have, you take away the two other main options, and Shea's got a fast-paced team that he's playing against in a game that could stay close because they're missing so much. Shouldn't, like, Shea, and I don't know, if we get value, trying to get to Shea and Giannis and Maxey would be like my main spend ups, along with maybe a sprinkle of Curry and a sprinkle of LaMelo, and then the Clippers guys in the 7K I think sort of make everything work in the medium.
What about any of these Knicks?
Yeah, I'm getting a decent amount of Cat. I'm sort of indifferent on that play. I'm always fine with Anunoby because he's so active. They're spreading the ball around more, so I'm just not doing the Brunson thing as much as I used to. Not getting to a ton of them personally. How about you?
Yeah, no, I was wondering if with Tibbs gone and what the different look the Knicks had from like a fantasy perspective. I mean, at the end of last season, we were happy to pay $9,200 for Brunson, but I guess it's a different situation now, like you said.
Yeah, it's different, but I think Brunson, I mean, he's still fine. It's just like I was listening to some stats. Like, there was like his average second per dribble, his average ball handling, it's like almost cut in half now, and they're just moving the ball around, which is, again, I think it makes a lot of sense for them as a whole. They've got a lot of good players. But yeah, Cat's the one of them that I'm kind of getting to.
The only thing that could prevent anybody from having an excuse to not late swap that late game is if you fall asleep, I guess.
Yeah, it's a really late game. And also, just again, I'm just speculating here because I have not seen anything anywhere, but I have a feeling somebody's sitting for the Warriors or something, because that is just too weird to see. I don't know. That's my.
Is anybody even questionable? I mean,
no. It's just confusing to me. I mean, look, it's a back-to-back, but there's been no announcements.
Yeah, I have the Clippers 1.5 point favorite.
Yeah, there's definitely somebody going to sit. That means for me, I don't think it's even like questionable. Would it be Curry? With that kind of a point thing, I think it might be Curry. Like Curry, Butler, Green, one of those three probably sit. And Horford, I'm guessing, will probably. No, he didn't play last night. Never mind. Yeah, it's a little hard to analyze that one. Fun little island game. So
I'll just go through my exposures the way I have now, but I'm gonna have to redo all my projections. I mean, obviously, once whatever late crap comes in, I'll start with FanDuel. Like FanDuel, my highest owned are, wow, this is an interesting group here. So Bam, then Oubre, then Edgecombe, like all the Philly guys, Quentin Grimes and Maxey, like all those Philly dudes. And then on in the Miami side, over there on FanDuel, I'm getting all this Davion Mitchell. As opposed to the guys on DraftKings who I'd be getting sort of different. So that's
Oh yeah, I have a bunch of them too. Yeah, that makes sense.
And then Zubac as well from that Clipper game. But on the other hand, let me go to DraftKings. I still think I have a bunch of Bam, but let me just see.
Yeah, it's gonna be Bam.
Let's see. Contests. And the good thing is only there's really no other late swap except for that last. I mean, you could try to sneak in the 750, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, Bam. Pretty much the same dudes, except I'm getting Colin Sexton on DraftKings. A decent amount as opposed to not on FanDuel. And Cattell Ware is showing up for me more on DraftKings than on FanDuel. Now, again, like I don't really do anything funny over there. I mean, except, listen, if you want to mess with the projections, fine. But I don't do like minimum on one team, maximum on one team, really. You're not really going to, unless you get like one of those games where like a team was like 8 guys. Like in those situations, you'll get to like 4 or 5 of them and you probably want them anyway. You know? So, I mean, but I don't do any minimum or maximum amount of that. I don't do anything with the salaries. And I am a little nervous about this. Now that you're mentioning of this Warriors thing, like we could speculate a little bit and save some room in case Curry is out. I mean, who would we play?
Butler.
Yeah, I mean, well, what you could do, I mean, obviously, what you could do is you could play Kawhi. And then
switch over to Butler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Kawhi's a good play anyway. I mean,
yeah, agreed. I think that makes some sense.
What does your showdown look like? Did you run anything yet?
I never know how to answer these general questions that Depot.
I didn't see what it said.
I don't know how to answer that question. Like, what do I need to do to find success? Dude, I want to help you out. I'll answer any direct question in the Discord, but these kind of general ones are tricky. And also I would remind you, just never give me a 1 week sample size. Like I'm never gonna. I don't think anything should be changed or done whatever after a week. What I would say is do not use Sheets and Goldie's projections for basketball. If you're going to use them as a reference point, like I do, or if you're going to do them, only use them through the first set of games, and that's only if you're sure that all the information is correct. Because on opening night, we had a thing, and for some reason, Goldie's projections, even though it updated after, where they got like no Miles McBride, who was like the obvious value play on or I guess maybe the opening Wednesday night, and everybody was complaining about having 0% Miles McBride, and that's what I was saying is like you really can't like they switched and put him in the starting lineup, and that was I think it was actually after lock when they announced it. So you're not going to have the updated projection. So no matter what, just use them before lock for sure.
Yeah.
No. I'm happy to try to answer it. I just don't know how to say. It's not you're using TrueDFS projections on Saber. So what does that mean you're using? What projection sets are you using, Depot? Whose are you using? What are you late swapping? Are you late swapping every single time? And if you're not, that's your answer. Late swap every single time a new part of the slate locks. That's a big part of the answer. But yeah, you should never. I don't think I would ever play an NBA. I can play like one lineup and not late, do it in my head. But even that's a real trek. I don't know. Sheets, any sort of general.
No, I would refer back, and we should replay this every freaking as an intro. Like my intro to the first big NBA slate that we did. It's really hard, and it requires like a full. I mean, with very few exceptions, but there are some, but very few exceptions. It requires a full commitment to be at your computer all night long. It just does. To play your best, and unfortunately, basketball is not a sport where you can get away with not playing your best. You have to be there for late news. You have to be there to late swap, and you have to really just commit to it. Yeah. And it's taxing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah, so here's the problem, Depot, and this is I want to emphasize this really, really clearly. Projections change throughout the course of the night, and in the NBA, if you get a new injury news or whatever, then the whole slate is different. Okay, and Jay has probably hit nail the nail right on the head here. That if you want to use Goldie's projections or my projections or average the projections or whatever, you can use them at as we approach lock, but even still, like I'm just gonna give you full disclosure. I do like my set of projections at like, they'll show up at like 620 maybe, but I'm not going to have time to do them again before lock. And it's very possible that something, either a starter happens or anything happens that you probably want to have that taken advantage of. That's why I would really rely even on SaberSim, even up until lock. Again, with the exception of, again, if you're sure that everything's locked in, everybody's starting, everything's whatever, then and only then I prefer my own. You know what I mean? Like, I would say that I would prefer the TrueDFS ones to all of them if I knew that those are the ones we're going to be using. You know what I mean? Like, if I knew for sure those are the ones we're going to be using. But aside from that, I mean, listen, full disclosure, like when I play, I might very well run a new set of projections in the middle of the slate, but there's no chance I'll have time to upload them to the site. Like, not a million.
And it can't be like, if you're doing it for large amounts of money, I don't think the answer can be I swap when I get a chance. It has to be I swap every single time. I really don't. I just, like last night, I was going to watch the Dodger game. I just didn't play. I'm like, there's no way I'm touching this. You know what I mean? Also, I'm having trouble with the I'm not doing well with the projections right now either. It's been a week though. It doesn't really bother me. I've had 2 big wins in the NBA. Both of them were hand-built lineups.
Yeah, right.
Where I hand edited between everything. So, that's I can't explain to somebody, knowing the things that I know, other than what I try to do every day, which is say, hey, the stars tend to be under projected, in my opinion, especially the very top level stars, the Giannis, Jokic, Wemby, all those guys, etc. But I mean, look, I really believe you could be a profitable player by just running the SaberSim product alone.
Yeah.
Not say that's the optimal way to do it. I would like to use sheets and what I tend to do is maybe take the top 5 or 6, whether it's highest projected players. See how the SaberSim numbers measure up to sheets and goldies. Maybe you just manually change those to follow goldies.
You know what else I would suggest, honestly, is that if you really want to make use of everything, and I'm not just like touting you or hyping you up or everything, but you start with one set of projections, whatever they are, and then you watch the show, and then you listen to what Bobby thinks about the actual players and his different kind of leans. And I would follow him as far as manually upgrading some of these guys. Like if you hear Bobby say, listen, I'm upgrading Giannis, I would upgrade him. I just would. Or at the very least, just make sure that after you run your stuff, that you have you have a little bit of the guys that Bobby recommends. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's the way. Listen, that's the way as a consumer I would do it. You know what I mean? That's what I do every freaking day. I read my stuff, and then I'm like, ooh, what did Bobby say? Oh, shoot, I should probably have less of him, or shoot, I should probably have more of him. And I think it's perfectly freaking healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what I'm trying to do every day. And I even make my little list of my list today of the things that I'm changing is Maxey. I raised I think 2 or 3 points. I raised Giannis basically to just barely go over Goldie's projection. So it's basically the same projection as Goldie's. SGA, I think, is being under projected for this game and all of OKC for that matter. Now, I wouldn't change, even though I changed those, I'm going to redo it again before it locks because sometimes SaberSim will catch up. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden I'll be like, oh, wait a minute. I raised Shea by 3 points. And now I'm 2 points under where SaberSim's got him at.
I've got one other announcement I want to make here. It's pretty low key. I'm not going to make a big deal of it. I'm not going to tweet it or anything like that. I'll drop it maybe to a couple of Discords. So this Friday and Saturday is the Breeders' Cup.
Oh, awesome.
At Del Mar. So without getting
Del Mar?
Yeah. So without getting too into it, you're probably going to want to know who I like in the Breeders' Cup. And so what I do is I used to do a video of the whole card for Friday and Saturday. I would just make it on YouTube, make it free, and put it on Twitter because I'm a nice guy. Not going to be so nice anymore. So you have to be a TrueDFS member to get that. So I'm going to drop that into the Discord channels. We do have a horse racing Discord channel, but I don't know if you have to be a member to access that. I'm not sure. You have to be a member to access all of our Discord channels now, right?
Basically all of them. There's only a few that we have, and horse racing is one of the ones you'd have to be a member.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to drop that in there. So you watch for that, and yeah, that's it. And so you have no baseball takes, anything. We don't even know who's playing. So
yeah, I'm still waiting for the Blue Jays. I guess it might have come out in the last few minutes actually, but like I do have a baseball. I have my list of guys for baseball too. It's not like a shocking, unowned guys. Betts, Freeman, Springer, Vlad, Varsho, and Barger are
I've heard of them.
The 6 guys that I like the most.
Okay.
So put it however many of them I can get to, I'm going to try to. Those are my favorite bats for this slate. Boy, that game, it really felt like 3 baseball games. It felt like it was going on for so fucking long. I mean, we're on the West Coast and people could barely stay awake, and we're in LA. But yeah. All right, Sheets. Anything else before we get running? Look, again, the other thing I would say, make sure to try to do your things as close to lock as possible, because Saberson will sometimes adjust things, and also the starting lineups are really important. If somebody else is starting all of a sudden, you're getting a guy like, probably lower owned than he should if we find out 5 minutes before lock or before that particular slate locks. You really want to try to do it as close to lock as possible. You could run a bunch beforehand and see what you're getting. But as usual, I will post my exact exposures everywhere in the TrueDFS channel for baseball and for basketball tonight. And
you know what? Let me see something. Where is the the game is in Golden State tonight, right? I was gonna say that the reason they might have made 11 is if it was in LA to like manage the traffic or something. Interesting. But it's in Golden State, right?
Yeah, that would have made some sense though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly have never seen it before, and it doesn't fit with my brain. but it is what it is. All right, man. Well, good luck to you tonight. Good luck to everybody out there. Hopefully we can make some money, and I will post all my stuff in probably the next 20 minutes to a half hour. Now it's subject to change, obviously, with late swap. But any questions, any thoughts that come up, I'm always there to answer, and we have a good team, so we'll always try to get to that.
By the way, I am asking the one person I can ask if there's any reason why there's an 11 p.m. game tonight.
Who? Oh, okay.
I'll see if he responds.
Okay. Yeah. I want to hear the answer to that one at some point.
Yeah.
All right, bud. See you later, man. Good luck to everybody tonight.
Okay, later.